A lot to cover tonight because we have not one but two events to cover from this past weekend, and it's going to be a blast to cover all this. So without further ado, let's get in the video and talk about it. First off, the Core TCG November Online Regionals 2.0. I played in this event. I was so close to top 16. If I didn't lose the final game against the Magna X player, I would probably have made it into the top 16 and actually gotten my invite. Sadly, we did not get there, and that kind of hurts a little bit of my soul. But you know what? We can live with it, we can play with it, and hopefully we can get there next time. Especially, I am going to still go to the event and hopefully have some fun there. So let's take a look though. Top 16, you have 3 Mirage, 3 Lordknightmon X, Imperial, Fenrir, Sign, Magna X, Purple Hybrid, BL Star, and Phoenixmon X. I hate that they just lump Mirage. Galaxy, I know that you're trying to say Mirage and Galaxy Mirage are completely same thing. No, they're not the same deck. They are basically two separate entities. One is Mirage, the other one is Galaxy Toolbox, which is basically every known good blue generic, boss that you're going to be seeing across the board. That's what you find in these lists. So let's take a look completely here. You skipped. How rude. Rude as F. So first off, as you can see, it's kind of very interesting stock list. The bottom line is all you know and love about Galaxy, that you get to de-digivolve, evolve, do all your good shenanigans, benefit from your Ko and Sio, being able to evolve your stuff for free. God, I hate... Eggman, please make it so pop-ups aren't this frequent. But taking a look though, Imperial Digimon Ace, Raigumon, Mirage, Hexablau, and then one Apollo. This is just pretty stock list that even I see myself playing now and again. So I have no objections on this. This is very similar to what I'm playing right now. Then here is the second place list. Taking a look, one Apollomon, 3 Hexablau, 2 Raigus. Full Metal Blaze is a really powerful card this set. I'm not even joking. Just because return 2 your opponent's level 4 lower Digimon to their owner's hand. If your opponent has 8 or more, return one of their level 6s. Being able to remove 3 cards is actually fundamentally scary in some instances, especially if they hit this in security. That can deal with wide boards, especially because a lot of decks are spitting out little guy, little guy, little guy, little guy. And then basically now you deal with the threat very comfortably. And the Paladin mode ace is just very comfortable. Then you do have Blast from the Past. This is no more any new cards in it. This is just BT13. Just straight up, I'm gonna punch you to death. This is Marcus Punch. Guys, the deck is still good, even in this meta. That's kind of crazy, actually, to think that even this deck, minus BT14's Koromon, this deck is still applying a lot of pressure, and being able to get 3rd place in this format, bravo, hats off to you. Then we do have a regular Mirage. This one, only just playing 2 Hexablau, and then you do have Burst Mode going crazy ham. You're just going to go bam, bam, yes, ma'am. And this is just what you kind of do. And this Digimon can't... This Digimon's attack target can't change, which is really nasty, especially if you can get this out when you have this one out. Then you can have both underneath and then basically go to town on your opponent. That's going to make them have a bad day. But it's kind of cool to see that even just basic Mirage Galgamon, we already know this deck is just cracked, but it's just going to do what it wants to do. And then it combos in with this new one. When you play a Digimon from one of your Digimon's Digivolutions, gain 1 memory. Just all good stuff, right? And then classic Magnamon X antibody right here. No lie, you got the Sora Joe, Davis's. You got Davis here to play your Vmon, Raid Flamemon, Magna X is just still big booty guy that you have to get across. And then just a bunch of Magnamons that your opponent's just got to deal with. Then you do have Fenrir Luga Takamazuchi deck. This is just a straight up OTK. The deck is just good as it is. The deck didn't get anything new. The only thing that's going to change up is once they get the scrambles. it's game over. It's straight up game over. Then you do have Purple Hybrid, teching in some interesting techs actually. You kind of know what Duskmon is, and the Vulgarmon line kind of just goes combo, mill out, you know, do all that good stuff. But in this list, this is a very interesting list. It plays 2 Cinderellamon for the overclock ability, being able to apply pressure, and then minusing 3000 DP with when your tokens are lost is always scary in some circumstances, right? Then you have like Shadow Seraphimon Ace being another threat that they have to play around that they might not be expecting, especially in this deck. Because if you go to Jet Sylvie or Rahimon, you're just making your opponent just have a bad day. Then they are also playing Bancho Leomon, which is surprising as well. So when this card would be played from the hand, if there are 6 or fewer total cards in both players' security stack, reduce the play cost of 5. On play, when Digimon suspend one of your opponent's Digimon in all turns. Once per turn, when a Digimon becomes suspended, you may have one of your opponent's Digimon get minus 4000 DP and gain a security attack -1 until the end of turn. So all in all, great list here. We got Venusmon as well, just to slow down any push turns. 2 Jack Raids. They are playing the AG and Code Cracker Fang because they are playing the Fenrir the Lugamon. Being able to get these back in, get them out for free is really powerful actually. You don't care, as long as you can spit them out by the end of your turn. Your goal is to get those Tamers live because they're also Tamers with Inheritables, which is really solid as well. But keep this in mind, very powerful deck. Then we do have a very Bellastar, kind of old school here. They are playing the Dusk Vulgar with this Purple Hybrid Bellastar. This with Mother D-Reaper package, having the Shotos to make Mother be a wall that your opponent has to deal with. You have Bellastar that's going to come down every couple turns, being able to play your options for free, remove threats, makes your opponent have a bad day. And because you're playing so many, you know, 7 cost options, your opponent has to be ready for anything you dish out. You know, you got the Koichis kind of being cycled in with the Dusk and the Volgra, and you can just Digivolve almost on all these characters. And then the big surprise is the Violet and Boots is just basically there for discarding your option cards, your 7 costs in your hand, to kind of just extend your plays a little bit, because it is going to draw you a card. It is a memory setter, so which is really solid. And then you have Matt Ishida to do the Matt Ishida loops, where if you only have 1 Duskmon, you can combo out nicely. Just looking at the list, it's really surprising to see Bellastar do this well. But you know what? When you have 3, 7, 10, 11, 12 great and powerful 7-drop removals, Bellastar is no stranger to this neighborhood. You know, Death X and Shine Greymon Ruin Mode is all scary threats to deal with. Then you have Phoenixmon. Phoenixmon doing Phoenixmon shenanigans. Kind of crazy. You know, some players do really well with these kind of decks, and they're very rogue class. And this is still a classified tier 2 deck that does really well into the format. I might have to move, if it keeps topping the next couple weeks, I might have to make a adjustment once we get closer to BT 10. And you know what? Great pilots are going to be great pilots, you know. Then you do have your first Lordknightmon playing 1 Zeed, 1 Shine, 1 Levia X, Lordknightmon X at 3 Lordknightmon. You got the Lady Devimon X antibody. You have Cerberusmon, Delta, Ogre, Dobermon X, Psychmon, Gazi, Labra, Goblin. You know, all the good stuff across the board. You know what? Zeed Millenniumon being in here just because you do produce 1 token with Lady Devimon X, and you just get to pop it and go with Zeed for face, is always scary for some players. Then you do have Classic Imperial Jamon with... Is this Dan's list? Are we close to Dan's list? Is this Dan's list? Because Nutty Boy... Excuse me? Why are we so zoomed in? We're going to reset that, please. Oh, we are at Dan. Wow. Dan's list. Dan decided to play 3 Magna X antibodies with 2 Hexablow, 1 Imperial Jamon Fighter Mode Ace. You notice that he took out completely the Dragon Mode. He definitely was saying, like before, Purple Hybrid and Lordknightmon definitely cakewalk his normal Imperial Jamon list. So he decided to swap it into a more Magna X focus, which definitely did him well. And he did well with the list. Then you do have... Huh? Why is that rude? Next, Imperial Dramon. This one's more classic Imperial Dramon with the Hexablow line, and nothing out of the ordinaries besides playing 2 Ukus, which again searches out pieces that you need. Then another very stock list, you know, the OTK shenanigans that this deck can do is always present, and just Hexablow just doing Hexablow things. Then we got Takamazuchi doing Takamazuchi things, you know, Analog Youth F4, 2 AGs, 3 Code Cracker. If you see all your pieces, your opponent's going to have a bad time, and if you can get this off, you can easily clear once they're at 2 to 3 security. Boom, very easy. Then we do have the Lordknightmon X again with 1 Anubis, 1 Leviathan X, 1 Shine Greymon Ruin Mode. You know the drills here, but it's playing Argomon, which is probably to cancel out the purple hybrid matchup or any purple themed deck that wants to just play their tamers left and right. This just basically comes in and just goes like, oh yeah, we're gonna just suspend and lock. We don't care about tamers because in this list, it doesn't matter. So with Argomon being able to come in cheaper, you can just set up your opponent just to have a bad day. You know, Leviathan X, as long as you have a Protoform and they play any Digimon, this thing's going to come out, or Tamer, when effect plays it. So that's super important. Just be ready for that thing to come down. Then another Lordknightmon with Anubis, Leviathan, just same very stock list that you kind of see across the board. And playing the Black Gato UV one. This one, at the end of the battle, to play this without paying a security cost. On play, return one of your opponent's Digimon from trash to the bottom deck, draw a card. Not a bad trade-off, right? The card's going to do what it wants. Now, let's get into the Case Webcam tournament. We have top 8s right now. 3 purple hybrid, 1 Leviathan, 1 Imperial Dramon, 1 7th grade Demon Lord, Magna Emperor hybrid, and 1 Ancient Greymon. So let's just see what happens in this. So first off, let's see the full picture here. Boop. So this one's very stock that you kind of just see now and again. Only 2 Death Slingers, full Rivals Barrage, which is not bad. It's a good idea to have maybe a higher ratio, but I think Death Slinger is still more vital just because no matter what happens even later in the game, it's just going to do stuff. I mean, hey, it worked for him. I don't understand this Kaiser Leo. Like, I get the Retaliate because it's just natural, then Mervamon just plays it, and you don't have to worry about Valgramon. You can just swing in with the Kaiser Leos and get in for 3 damage. I get the concept, but I would have probably just wanted the one-ofs anyway, because I want Valgramon to mill my opponent anyway. Then another purple hybrid list. This one decided that it's going to play some Miss Memory Boost, which is smart, actually. The Miss Memory Boost paired to the purple Memory Boost, but it's also playing 1 Ancient Deity. It's playing 1 Calling from Darkness, which I'm actually almost tempted to test in my list. I think Calling actually is really vital. I think sometimes you just need to get some of your pieces out of the trash, and Calling can easily do that for you. But you know what? Just very similar list. Plays 1 AG instead of triple Miss Memory Boost. The AG is just in there because, again, your hybrids... I'm going to be straight honest with you. Like, why are we playing AG in a list that your Digimon are going to die? I mean, yes, you can play AG with the Duskmon effect, have it up to gain the memory to extend a little bit, but it doesn't always make sense, but I get the idea of having blocker too, so that you don't die. If you can just block one of the attacks, you survive. There's a lot of things that can happen, so I don't know. I like the techs, they're kind of cute. I don't know about AG. Then we do have Leviathan, the classic King of the Ring. You know, this boy doesn't go anywhere without his posse. Waro Seadramon combo? Wow. When effect plays until the end of turn, all their Digimon gain on deletion lose a memory. So, definitely just very stock. You know, you have Drago, Waro Sea, which is kind of surprising to me is that they're not playing the Cerberusmon X, but I kind of see what they're trying to do here, just forcing plays. And then they do have the Guillemon to be able to rush in and deal some damage as well. I mean, yeah, Leviathan and Leviathan X just clean house sometimes, and that's all they need to do. And then we do have Imperial Dramon doing Imperial Dramon things. They are teching 1 Imperial Dramon to do the crazy Wombo combo, I don't think it's supposed to be this one. I really doubt it's this one. If it is, bravo for playing this card. I don't know why, but hey, if it worked for you, it worked for you. Then we do have the 7 Great Demon Lords. If you guys didn't know, it got some new toys to play with. Are they playing some new toys is the question. Besides Shoto, it looks like a very stock list. Yeah, very stock. There is nothing out of the ordinary here. Yeah, everything you normally see in the 9 to 5s. Now let's see if we can get a full card here. Now you got Ancient with Magna Guru. Kind of interesting, actually. But this is surprising me a little bit because I wasn't expecting to see this list to actually make all the way up here. If it works for you guys, good job. Congrats on topping for that case event. Very good for you. I have no objections on your list to play. It's very surprising to see this list. Maybe we'll see some more Ancient Greymons come in. Players might start playing with the deck more if they see a top, and this is definitely cool. Then you do have another purple hybrid, which is... This is the Magna Guru list, which, yeah, I kind of see where it's coming from. The thing I'm 100% on is Susanamon Ace. I would figure you want to have the Armor Boy, the Magna Gurumon Armor version, that just basically after you swing, you get to D to swing in another time. You know, that really seems vital in that combo strategy where you can deal a lot of damage pretty quickly. But that's just me letting you know. Zenimon is really funny. It's the replacement to Chumon, and it works. You know what? Sometimes your opponent just doesn't have the out to it. But taking a look across the board, a really solid list. You know, Koji, Koichi. You're going to do all your shenanigans. Ancient Guardian Deity doing its shenanigans. So, yeah. And then your basic white boy, white girl drink here. And that is your Ancient Greymon. Ancient Greymon just plows through security like it's nobody's business and doesn't care what you want to do with your life. So just keep this in mind when you're seeing this deck. This deck can be very scary, and it's kind of cool that they are playing high speed in plug-in, because that jamming sometimes is all you need to win the game, and Ancient Greymon can just do that for days. So just keep this in mind when you're climbing up and everything like that. This deck can just get really ridiculous pretty quickly with damage output. Atomic Inferno, Gravity Crush, Crimson Blaze are all very stock cards. But if this goes off, your opponent's going to have a bad time if you can clear all that security. But all in all, that is the 2 major events you get to see, guys, which I think really starts to show that we do have a very healthy meta at the moment. Very diverse. There isn't really anything screaming that's like, oh, this is overpowered, we need to play around it. No, every kind of deck has its own kind of uniqueness, and it gets to have fun with it. You guys get to enjoy deck building and being able to play different decks that can do extremely well. So guys, what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace.